Hello and welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Pet McDonald, and in this video we'll be learning the 2 to 4 player game Cuisine a la carte, designed by Danny Demarest and published by InMotion Games. Get out your tasting spoons and warming trays because it's time to cook up some delectable dishes made with ingredients from all over the world. But do you have what it takes to please the judges and bring home the most medals? Join me at the table and let's learn how to play. To set up, provide each player with a set of 8 tasting spoons and 2 finishing salts. Players shuffle these together to form their starting decks and draw 5 cards each into their hands. Also give each player a double-sided reference card. It shows the available actions of a turn, as well as all icons you'll see in the game. Any remaining tasting spoons, finishing salts, and reference cards can be returned to the box. Now separate these judge cards into 3 piles based on the values on the top left-hand corner. Then, shuffle each into a face-down deck. For a 2-player game, which we'll be setting up here, draw 1 judge from each deck, placing them face-up on the table. When playing with 3 players, lay out an additional 15-point judge. And with 4 players, also lay out an additional 18-point judge. Keep the judge piles nearby, along with these medal tokens. These are the ingredient cards. Shuffle and place them in a face-down deck, referred to as the pantry. Draw the top 4 cards and place them face up in a row between the players to form a marketplace. If the majority of the cards revealed this way show a fork icon here, then reshuffle the ingredients and deal 4 new ones. Leave an empty space here for the fridge, which we'll talk about later, and set these fork cards to the side. The game also includes a Kitchen Classics expansion with more ingredients that you can choose to shuffle in if you like. They'll have a carrot icon here to help distinguish them from the rest of the ingredients. And that's the setup. In Cuisine a la carte, players will purchase ingredients, cook meals, and submit those meals to judges in order to score points. The game is played over a series of turns, starting with the player who most recently cooked a meal, and continuing clockwise. Each turn is divided into 4 steps, starting with loading your warming tray. This is an optional step where you may place a single card from your hand face down into an area known as your warming tray. This is a space in front of you, which can hold at most 3 separate face-down cards. Once placed here, cards cannot be removed except by a card ability or if used as part of a dish served to a judge, which we'll learn about later. Next is the play cards phase. You may now either play cards in order to buy new ones or submit 1 dish of food to a judge. Let's learn about buying cards first. To do this, you play cards from your hand face up in front of you to gain the benefits shown if they have an on-play effect, which comes from this symbol here. Gained effects may be resolved in any order you choose. A common benefit is being given points in the game's currency, which is made up of spoons and forks. For example, the tasting spoon provides you with 1 spoon worth of buying power, as noted by this icon. The more you play, the more buying power you have. Buying power is used to purchase cards from the marketplace, fridge, which is currently empty, or fork pile. The cost of a card is shown on the top right-hand corner. Most things cost spoons, but some cost forks instead. You can obtain forks for spending by purchasing one of the fork cards available beside the marketplace for 2 spoons each. By default, you may only buy 1 card per turn, and purchase cards go directly to your discard pile. You ignore any of their printed effects unless the effect shows a money symbol here. This means it resolves only as the item is being bought. Keep in mind that activated abilities can be resolved in any order, and you may choose not to activate a card's ability if you wish. Sometimes you can buy more than 1 card in a turn. For example, the optional ability of forks, shown here, grants you an additional buy action instead of using it as buying power. Finishing Salt, the other card we began with, has a similar ability. However, in order to gain an extra buy action with it, you must trash it. Trashing a card means to remove it from the game. It also has a second ability, noted by the serving tray icon, which is only activated when the card is included as part of a meal, which we'll learn about later. After buying a single card, or more if allowed by an effect, you discard any cards played along with any in your hand to a personal discard pile. Rather than purchasing cards during this play card phase, you may instead submit a single dish that satisfies a face-up judge. The dish you prepare must provide a number of meal points at least equal to this value in the upper left-hand corner. These medal symbols are what you gain from a judge, but they may give you more or fewer based on the ingredients that you use. You create a dish by playing cards in your hand along with any from your warming tray if you so choose. You may always look at the cards in your own warming tray at any time. A dish's meal point value is found by totaling the number of these chef hat symbols on each ingredient you submit. Hats in black are always provided by the ingredients, and you're reminded of their values here in the upper left-hand corner as well as on the left side. However, you may find colored hats here as well that match the colored border of the card itself. The color, along with the symbol here, represent the cuisine type of the ingredient, either Western, Italian, French, or Pan-Asian. Ingredients in a dish that have matching colored borders also gain any on-play or on-submit abilities shown here in the colored section of their cards. So because I played both lemon and tomato together, not only do I gain their 6 black meal points, but these bonus 3 as well. These gray ingredients instead gain their bonus when paired with a certain type of food. If I submit this potato and bok choy along with my dish, they won't grant me any bonuses as they have no matches. However, they will each still provide me 2 meal points. This puts my total to 13, which still isn't quite enough to satisfy Shauna yet. However, some ingredients, such as this tomato, will show a star to indicate they have a more complicated effect below. In this case, I'll gain 2 extra meal points for each carb in my dish. As this potato counts as carbs, that will give me the 15 points that I need. Sometimes cards have an on-submit effect outside of the colored area, like the lemon does. This means that when I submit it as part of a dish, I gain this effect, even if I didn't match it with another Italian ingredient. On-play effects also trigger if they apply. But remember, when submitting a dish, you cannot also buy from the marketplace, so ignore any spoons or forks that you would gain. For fun, you may even give your dish a name as you submit it. For example, this potato tomato bok choy salad with a zesting of lemon. If you have met your judge's requirements, you claim them and gain a number of medals from the supply as shown here. However, some judges are extra picky about what they are looking for. Ingredients will have different types and flavors as represented by the icons you'll find listed here. Shauna awards us 2 medals for our dish, but we gain extra medals for each produce ingredient that we included. All 4 of our ingredients count as produce, which means we'll be granted 4 bonus medals for a total of 6. Shauna will also reduce the number of medals by 1 if you include meat in your dish, which luckily we did not. So we still gain 6 medals. The smaller medals are worth 1 point, and the larger ones are worth 5. It's also important to note that you would not claim a judge if you would gain less than 1 medal from them. The judges that you collect will grant you an ability for the rest of the game, as shown here. With Shauna, I can now store an extra card in my warming tray. Once a judge is claimed, reveal a new one from the same stack and remove your submitted meal ingredients from the game, but keep them nearby as they may be used for breaking ties later. You then discard any cards remaining in your hand to your personal discard pile. Whether you bought cards or submitted a dish, you then perform a cleanup. Here, you will take the ingredient card from the 4th position in the market and place it into the space we left during the setup, known as the fridge. If there is no card in the 4th position, then nothing is added to the fridge that turn. Future cards moved to the fridge will continue to be stacked here, and in later turns, you can choose to use your buy action to purchase the top card from the fridge pile for 1 spoon, ignoring any other printed cost on it, including forks. However, you also ignore any on-purchase effects the card may have. After stocking the fridge, slide all remaining marketplace ingredients toward it to fill the gaps. Then reveal new cards from the pantry to fill the empty spaces. Now, to end your turn, draw a new hand of 5 cards from your deck. If you run out of cards, reshuffle your discard pile into a new deck and finish drawing as required. Gameplay continues with the next player clockwise taking a turn, and so on until someone has earned at least 15 medals, or 10 medals in a 3 to 4 player game. Then, continue taking turns as necessary in order to ensure that players have had an equal number of turns. At this point, the player with the most medals is declared the winner. In the case of a tie, the player who used the most ingredients while crafting their meals is considered the winner. If there's still a tie, players share the victory. The rulebook also includes rules for advanced play, including random judges and alternate ways to receive medals. But I'll leave that for you to discover on your own. And that's everything you need to know to play Cuisine à la carte. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below and I'll gladly answer them as soon as I get a chance. But until the next episode, thanks for watching.